This video is sponsored by Soldano. Those of you following my channel may remember me featuring the Soldano Astro 20 in a previous video. In fact, when the Astro 20 first came out, I was one of the lucky guitar players to be featured in the launch videos. However, I didn't really dive into how I used the Astro 20 to record that track. So in this video, I am re-recording one of my old tracks using the Soldano Astro 20 as the only amp on all the guitar parts. Big thanks to Soldano for sponsoring this video and for sending me my very own Astro 20 to use here in my workflow. Of course, I will have all the links, affiliate or otherwise, in the video description. So please use these links to go shopping and get yourself your very own Astro 20. Thank you so much for your extra support. Now, for some of you out there, the whole recording process is kind of like watching paint dry. So before we dive into the whole process of crafting the guitar tones, here is the track that I mentioned. Enjoy. Okay, before we start tone chasing, let me get you guys up to speed on all the Soldano Astro 20's features and specs. The Soldano Astro 20 is an all-tube 20-watt guitar amplifier. It uses two 6V6 power tubes and four 12AX7 preamp tubes. It has three independent channels. One channel is dedicated to clean only, and the other two channels can be assigned to different galaxies, which are basically different voicings for those channels. So the green galaxy is your clean channel. controlled by this volume knob right here and this tone knob. And it also has a 3-position bright switch. Now channels 2 and 3 are assigned to this row of knobs right here. They share the same EQ section, bass, middle, treble, but they have their own separate gain and volume controls. Oh, I forgot to switch channels, hold on. Okay. And now the voicings or galaxies, as designated on the Astro 20, are as follows. We have blue, which is the crunch tone. Purple is the heavier rhythm, crunchier tone. And red is the lead channel, which has the most gain and saturation. So right now I have the second channel assigned to purple, controlled by this gain knob right here. And the third channel is assigned to red, controlled by this gain knob. However, the Soldano Astro 20 is also MIDI controllable either by the included 4-button foot switch or a third-party MIDI controller. You have access to all voicings, whenever you want. So with the foot switch, I have button 1 assigned to my clean tone, the green galaxy. And then foot switch 2 is the blue galaxy on channel 2. Foot switch 3 is the purple galaxy on channel 2 still. And then finally, foot switch 4 is the red galaxy on channel 3. Okay, we're almost done. Rounding out the features are the power amp section controls right here. We have a master volume for when you are playing the Astro 20 through an actual guitar cabinet. Right now I'm running the Astro 20 cabless straight out of the XLR out into my audio interface. So we don't need to turn the master volume up. The final knob is a presence control that affects the power amp section. Now this little toggle switch right here is the depth control. It just adds a little more low-end oomph to your sound, and it has 3 settings. Now the final switch is what makes the Astro 20 handy and quick and easy to use for run and gun recordings such as this. I already mentioned that I'm running the Astro 20 cabless into my audio interface, and this switch lets you select amongst 6 of the onboard IRs. So each of these small lights revolving around that big bright light is an IR loaded onto the Astro 20. Now, for those of you wondering, yes, there is a desktop editor that you can use to control the Astro 20. Switch channels, handle presets, load in your own third-party IRs and such. But for this video, I am not going to fire it up. I am going to rely solely on the Astro 20 for all my tones. The onboard IRs are already very good, so yeah, you'll get a lot of use out of them. Oh, before I forget, the IRs are also saved in your presets assigned to the foot switches. So let's see, preset 1, that's my IR. Preset 2, change IRs as well. Preset 3, going back. And preset 4, different IR. And saving the state of the Astro 20 is pretty easy. So select the button that you want to save to. Tweak. Let's say I want that IR. And I want this galaxy, and then long press the channel select switch. Once it blinks, whatever state the switches are in and the IRs are in are saved to that preset. However, and this is a fairly important point, the presets only save the state of the switches and the IR selection. It does not save your EQ and gain and knob settings. Because at the end of the day, the Astro 20 is still an analog tube guitar amp. And all the digital control is just in the back end. Okay, so here is the track. It is an old tune of mine that I found in one of my one of my hard drives, and I've actually forgotten about this song, and I'm glad I found it again. So it's got different parts: an ambient, washy, sustainy part, and then some tight riffing, and then an extended guitar solo section. So first up, I'll record a heavy rhythm part, which will serve as the foundation for the tune and tie the guitar sound to the drums and the bass. I'll be using my Sully Guitars Stardust named Koa. And for rhythm guitars, I like using a hardtail guitar. That way I can really, dig into it and not deal with a lot of tuning issues. Now, for my workflow, I have a dedicated tracking channel that I record everything to, and then I just drag the events down to their respective channels a little later on. It's just quicker for me. That way I don't have to keep skipping and jumping around tracks and arming and disarming and all that crap. So playing through the track, and we'll do it section by section. Okay, so I'm going to start with the riffy part, and I'm going to audition different IRs to see which one ties in with the rhythm section the best. Okay, so I'm purposely not looking up what IRs I am playing through. That way I don't get any preconceived notions. I'm just trusting my ears and using that to decide on the tones. So I think for this rhythm part, I need something scooped and a little more beefy in the low end. Not that one. Not that one. This can work. And as you're gonna hear as well, the IRs drastically changed the sound of the Astro 20. I haven't even touched the EQ yet. Let's try this one. Let's try one more. No, not that one. Too mid. Okay, I like that. I'm glad that I have my camera documenting this whole process. That way I can always come back and, find out for myself what the exact IR is. Okay, let's record. Okay, so that feels like a good take. I'm going to drag this down to the right channel and go back to tracking. It's important in between takes to check your tuning. That way everything is good come mix time. Okay, so I am going to double that track with a less distorted guitar and maybe a different IR just to fill out the sonic space. And I'm also going to split the coil on this Sully Stardust. This Sully guitar model has very, very nice split coil tones. Okay, so let's go to the Blue Galaxy. Split coil. And for this part, I am going to play more of the higher voicings of the chords, just to spread things out. Now, since I'm playing in a higher register than the, the rhythm foundation, it's important to take care of the tone so that later on, I don't run into, frequency issues once I start laying the lead. So I think I'm going to go with a slightly hollower sound for this part. Let's try it. Here we go. Try that again. Okay, I think okay, so I think I'm gonna settle with this IR. It's hollow enough. The lower gain gives nice articulation to the other notes. Okay. And in the unison parts, it just expands the frequencies of the riff. And since it's a more scoop tone, I don't think I'll have to fight too much with it later on when I lay down the solos. Okay, let's do this. Okay, so drag that down and okay, that works. Hit save. And then I'm gonna take a little break, change guitars, and we'll pick it right back up. And I'm back. So I've changed the guitars. This is my Anderson Angel. So this guitar has a Floyd Rose just to keep things fun for the solo section. However, there is a part in the verse part where I was playing some chords on the overdubbed rhythm guitar. And right now, I don't think the chord voicings are cutting through or defined enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to double those arpeggiated chords with a clean tone. So go to the green channel or green galaxy. And we need a slinky tone. Let's see. Let's try it with the neck pickup in parallel. Okay, so that is closer. It's not a totally clean part, but it adds definition to those chords. Now, I'm going to hip you to another trick. So right now, the clean tone has an IR assigned to it. So it pretty much sounds like, you know, like a mic'd up clean guitar amp. But the trick is, we're going to go direct without an IR. So to disable the IR, just long press the cabinet switch, and then the satellite light goes off. So now this is our, you know, direct tone without any IRs. So it's really plinky, really hi-fi sounding. So it should make that arpeggiated chord pop without getting in the way of, you know, the heaviness. Okay, I'm gonna record this. Perhaps later at mixdown, I'll add some compression and a little bit of delay just to, you know, spread the sound out. But, you know, that is a trick. Okay, not all guitar parts need to go through IR. So, especially for clean guitar parts such as this one. Okay, we got that. Okay, bring it down here. Okay, solo time. Let's go to the red channel. Now I'm going to change the amp EQ up a little bit. I know for sure that I want a little bit more mids. We have the gain all the way up, of course. And maybe a little more presence. Nice. And let's see. Let's go through the different IRs. Okay, now, one thing to remember. Usually, the most comfortable tone that you can dial in while playing the guitar on its own is not the tone that sits well or cuts through in a full track. In fact, the tone that's bordering on uncomfortable, as far as the mids go, is the tone that works best to cut through the mix. So, for example, I like that tone in full band context. It gets buried. Now I know that I can raise the volume up in the mix later on, but I'd rather not push faders when I can get my guitar tone to cut through just on the frequencies alone. So let's choose another IR. Here's another example of a comfortable guitar tone. Nice and chunky and, you know, bitey, but then doesn't really cut through right now. So let's try another one. Okay, that is loaded with a lot of mids. Let's see. Okay, so you've just heard that tone cut through without, you know, me changing any of the faders. Okay, I'm going to make a slight adjustment to the EQ. Maybe bring the depth down. Okay, I think that will work for the most part. Let's try it. I think I'm going to bump up the treble a little bit and the presence for this IR because it's a little too mid-forward for me. And this is something that the Astro 20 allows me to do. The EQ has a very nice and wide usable range. So I can even turn this all the way up. And it's not, you know, ice pick in your ear territory. It's actually a very usable tone. So let's see, bring this back down and then treble all the way, maybe up there. Let's see how that works. Okay, I like that. Okay, more takes. Let's listen back to that one. I'm happy with that for now. Okay, so bring it down to the lead track, unmute. And my lead track already has a little bit of delay and an EQ just to shave off the bottom end, just because. Okay, so check this out. -2 dB, -2 dB, and this is at 0 dB. So there aren't any crazy volume settings tracks-wise, and everything cuts through nicely with minimal processing and EQ. And that's how I like recording my guitars. That way, mixdown is not a big, chore. Okay, I'm gonna record one more track. I'm just going to play the rhythm on this guitar with this tone, just because. Okay, there you have it. That's how I recorded all the guitar parts for that track using only one guitar amp, the Soldano Astro 20. Again, big thanks to Soldano for sponsoring this video and for giving me free reign in presenting the Astro 20 to all you guys. As always, I will have affiliate links to the Soldano Astro 20 in the video description. Buying from these links are of no extra cost to you, and the small commission that I get helps me keep making these videos for everybody to enjoy. Okay, you have reached the end card. YouTube thinks you're gonna like this next video, so click on it to watch. Then go grab your guitar and play something. You all know the drill. Practice makes perfecto. Cheers, guys.